It's not always easy to be in sync with people, especially if you find yourself on a different mindset and a completely different emotional wavelength. However, that does not have to mean that you cannot connect with someone. Hi, my name is Evette Rose, author and founder of Metaphysical Anatomy, which is a book of 679 medical ailments where I explain the hidden emotional messages behind them and that we all share universally. And welcome to today's topic, which is effective ways to match a person's energy vibe without sacrificing any aspect of your sense of self. So firstly, what is important to know here is that in order to match someone, does not mean that you have to behave the same way as they do or be in the same frame of mind. The key is to normally just use your tone of voice. And you can easily match someone, for example, by just adjusting your tone of voice to match at least 70% of their state. So here we're going to have different types of personalities and how to match them. So type 1 personality. If someone now, for example, is, say, upset, right? Listen to the tone of their voice and then try to match it, right? Not 100%. But if someone, for example, feels really down, then make sure that your tone of voice is calm and relaxed and not overly excited with high-pitched tones, right? So if someone is going through a really rough time, then have like a really nice, neutral, caring, balanced tone in your voice, because people actually find comfort in that, because it's then easy to approach you and for them to also even perhaps open up, because a neutral tone creates a safe and supportive space. So the moment you change your tone of voice, your energy vibe will automatically match that. So then we have type 2 personality. So here we want to be matching someone, say for example, who's down or someone who's grieving, right? Someone, for example, that just had a breakup, that just lost a loved one or something really traumatic just happened, right? Without taking on their sadness, right? Especially when you try to connect with them. I'm sure that you can relate to that. I'm sure you've had moments and times where you talk to someone and you connect to them and they're crying and they're feeling really upset. And you walk away and you're also feeling that heaviness. You feel that maybe your chest feels a little bit tight, or you're thinking really bad negative thoughts that weren't there a minute ago. So it's hard in this moment to emotionally protect yourself, right? It's sometimes hard, and also then to be strong for the other person at the same time, especially when you're trying to energetically match them in the way that is supportive. So firstly, in this case, silently to yourself, acknowledge the difference between your identity and their sadness, because this intention will already shift their sadness out of your energetic and mental space, right? Because now it helps you to also consciously approach this person from the perspective of supporting them rather than feeling, caught up and swooped up in their emotional state, because that will allow you to really be fully present with them. And also in this case, keep a nice natural tone of voice, and also stay, this is very important, also stay at eye level with them, right? Because when someone is feeling really down or very upset, then they already feel very vulnerable. So if you are above their eye level, it can actually trigger feelings of shame, and they can also feel intimidated by your presence. It's not a conscious thought, it's completely subconscious and also a biological reaction. So even though your intention is to support them. And then we have type 3, right? How to match someone that is overly excited, right? We all have that person in our life that is happy about almost everything and anything. Right? Anything can almost get them excited. And their intensity, right, can actually feel quite disruptive and even draining. But especially when you are in a calm state, right? And you're not in the mood to share perhaps the same level of excitement as they do. So how to deal with this? Now, most importantly of all is let go of trying to match them in the first place, because the frustration and the anger comes from feeling pressured or feeling that you have to match them. You don't have to. It's their experience, not yours, right? but you also don't have to be a party crasher, right? So to be kind of in sync with them is that you can match them with a friendly response, with a positive tone in your voice to whatever it is that they're commenting on or communicating to you. Right? Remember that you have no obligation to jump up and down and also do what they're doing. You can honor how you feel in that moment, and you can match them, for example, with a smile. Right? Match them with a smile and also with your tone of voice. And even say that it makes you happy to see them so happy. Right? Especially if you cannot relate to what they're feeling so excited about. So that's a good tip there for you. And then we have type 4 personality. Now you will always come across a person who is the convincer, right? Meaning when you find yourself in a conversation with them and you, for example, say share your opinion with them, they might actually disregard your opinion and they try to convince you to believe in theirs. Right now, if you find yourself constantly in conflict with someone like this, then I would highly recommend that you also watch my video and my talk about I am right and you are wrong, and how to resolve this on my YouTube channel. Or you can just go to evettevideos.com. Now, with this person, right, to match them is, for example, now I have learned that by just saying, I hear the point that you are making, this already diffuses their need and the intensity of them needing to convert you to believe in their belief system. Because deep down, what they're looking for is actually validation, that their opinion is, because, you know, when someone shares an opinion, that opinion is formed and based on your values and mindset. It is an expression of your raw, true self, right? So, and that now is an expression of that person's identity. And if that's judged or criticized, they take it personal. They take it as if though they are not good enough. So, let them just have it. Otherwise, you will be jumping into a never-ending debating rabbit hole. And just, for example, here in this case, just saying, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. You don't even use the word understand, because that, in most cases, will backfire by saying, well, you don't understand. It's not your job to understand. However, you do have a certain level when you communicate, when you engage with someone, you do have a certain level of responsibility to at least just listen. You don't have to agree by listening, right? And then we have type 5 personality, how to match an overly sensitive person. Now, firstly, let go of feeling that you're walking on eggshells. Just be you, right? Just be you. And here also, sometimes we have people at what I would call shit stirrers, okay? Refrain from the need to poke at them, because for some people who like to make fun of people who are sensitive, it's irresistible. However, these people are oversensitive for a reason, right? So there's a lot of pain there. There could be trauma there. And what you're doing then is this person is poked unnecessarily. It is provoking them and it's triggering old pain from the past. And also a really nice, gentle way to approach these people, especially if they get triggered. If you triggered them by accident, which could potentially be, it could happen, right? Let them know and let them understand that it was not your intention to upset them. And you are looking for perhaps now a new way to communicate with them in a way that they can receive really well. Just so that you can understand where are their sensitive points. Because that will show to them that you care. And it will build trust. And they will actually become less oversensitive because they will start to learn to know and understand that your intentions are good. Because normally oversensitive people are very distrustful and they also are very defensive. So in order for them to become less defensive is to help them to understand that you're here with good intentions. So also in that case, just a neutral, relaxed, balanced, personal, approach to them also already makes a very big difference. And then we have type 6 personality. How to match someone now with a low self-esteem. Now, especially when you're dealing with someone like this, you already know for example, is that they've had a very bad personal boundary issues, right? So be mindful to not accidentally take advantage of it, especially if they are a very giving person, right? Instead, thank them for their kindness and give them like a neutral compliment that could, for example, even boost their self-esteem, right? Keep your approach and also your tone of voice, keep it calm and also neutral, as they can also feel very easily intimidated. So if you get frustrated, if you get angry, just take a nice deep breath. And what actually happens here, especially if you get triggered by these kind of people, that's okay, right? Because you feel like, why can't you just get over it? Why can't you just be like other people are? People are the way that they are because of their past. So if that's you, and if you find yourself in circumstances like that, what I love to do as well, especially when I explain something to someone over and over again, and I can see this person's getting nervous and I'm getting frustrated, what I do is, in that moment, I walk away and just take a nice deep breath, or because there's a communication gap, find a way then where the gap is and establish that. So for example, say, repeat back to me what you think I said. And normally in most cases you will find the issue there. Or what you can do is take a deep breath, and hold it as long as you can. By the time you exhale, it will actually decrease any frustration or anger that you feel by at least 50%. And then we have type 7 personality. Now, people with no boundaries. We always have that person or people in our life, right? So meaning that they are overstepping yours. Now, these kind of people are actually easy to match in the sense of standing strong in your own boundaries, and also, of course, your tone of voice, right? So your tone of voice in this case needs to match your boundary. And if you don't, then they are just going to show you where improvement is needed. So it's like, with these kind of people, consistency is needed. I repeat that. Consistency is needed. So for example now, if you say no one moment and then yes the other, they will easily start to see where your weaknesses are, right? So emotionally, feel your boundary within you and then express it, right? Your tone of voice will carry and translate your boundary as well. And then we have type 8 personality, matching aggressive people. Now, this type of person is actually, in my opinion, not worth matching, right? It's not worth matching. There's a saying that goes, if you play with a pig in the mud, then no one is going to come out clean out of it, right? Your tone of voice here in this case needs to, of course, be firm. And at the same time, if they did actually manage to say something, for example, now say something intelligent or correct, then acknowledge it, right? Because for example, now here, if you do, you would have now, in this case, automatically calmed down the situation because this person is struggling with misdirected anger. And now you're standing in the fire line. So they subconsciously, right? Subconsciously, they feel a very deep need to fight for their opinion. They have to fight for their values and their beliefs to be respected, instead of just feeling unworthy of just having it. Right? They feel almost like they have to, demand to ensure that they get the respect that they want. Now, aggressive people are also deep down battling wounds that's related to feeling powerless in their life. And they are also now overcompensating with anger because this has now become their new source of power and confidence. So keep that in mind in terms of how you can flip the situation around. Then we have type 9 personality. Now, this type is what I would call the know-it-all, right? We all also have that person. Now, in this case, first and foremost and most important is let go of needing to prove this kind of person wrong. It is like stepping into a viper's nest, because chances are that they're going to trigger you and you will find yourself in a I am right and you're wrong scenario. Remember to watch that video. It's a really cool video that I also have. Now, if you like drama, perfect. Continue, right? Continue to engage with them because you will have a sufficient dose of it. Now, also, in this case, remember, change your tone of voice to neutralness. And also try not to sound competitive in your tone of voice, because these kind of people actually almost listen for it because they feed off of that. Because this is also what, like I said, they listen for that. So here, say for example, now they're going to listen to see where they got you. Where do you react? When does your tone of voice spike? Right? When you roll your eyes? When do you start to, perhaps have the body language where you fold your arms? They are very good observers, and they watch to see where they hit the nail on the head. Because these people are also addicted. It's almost like an emotional addictant to prove people wrong. And they can go through great lengths to prove you wrong. Even if they talk about things that they are also educated in, let them feel that they're right. Even if you both share the same education, or even if you don't, right? Just let them feel that they are right. To a certain extent as well, of course, right? Because now here, for example, especially if you don't have to deal with this person again, let them have it, right? Let them have it. Now, if you have to deal with them again in the future, then express also what your opinion is, right? Express it clearly, that what also your intention here is to find a middle ground where you both can meet each other halfway, not all the way to the other person's side, right? Halfway. And also now, in this case, what you want is a solution and not an argument, because this will either way only leave you both in a very bitter place. So you see, expressing your intention for a peaceful meeting of opinion already disarms this person from their verbal weapons, because there is nothing to fight against, right? Then no one has to be competing in this case with each other. And then we have type 10 personality. How to deal with someone who is not always transparent. So here you're now dealing with someone, right? Probably that's a compulsive liar in most cases. Here I would suggest that you get your facts always straight and always have them ready. And also keep your tone of voice confident, and also politely question what they say, right? By simply just asking them, to explain more about the topic, especially that is a concern for you. Investigate, and not interrogate, investigate. So I also think now for here in this example that it's obvious that you should not engage with any kind of business contracts either, because this type of person's loyalty and interest is only with themselves. And then we also have type 11 personality, and these guys are the narcissistic type of people. Oh lordy lordy. Don't even try. Don't even try to match them. Right? Because any kind of effort on your part to match them or to communicate will only make them think that you are potentially getting now into an emotion, that they are actually getting an emotional hold on you. Right? They are provocative. They will continue to do or say things, for example, now to see where and how they can also get a reaction from you. So the more triggered you will feel with someone now, for example, who's trying to provoke you, the more of an indication it is for you to just stay away. Breathe and let any frustrations with this person just flow through you and out of you. Because if you engage in an argument, just know that you're not arguing with a sensible person, right? And also your argument will end up being senseless. Now, when you don't have a choice other than to engage with them, say for example at work, then tread with care. And also have a strategy, right? Because narcissists don't normally show or have much empathy. So there's no point trying to match them, right? They do not have the willingness, right? They don't have the willingness to care about any effort put in on your part. Also refrain from the blame game, right? Don't say that you did this or you did that wrong. You will find yourself in a very quick escalating, aggressive war zone very, very fast. So with narcissists in this case, consistency is key. And when I say consistency, I mean consistency in your boundaries. So super important, guys. So keep asking these really awesome and great questions. I love answering the questions that you have. We're all learning here together. So stay tuned and also subscribe to my channel. And until next time, be the light that you are. Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling you because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!